Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into something called CRM. And you might be thinking, CRM? What is that? Or even CRM? How boring.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly sound like the most thrilling topic, does it?
Right, like how exciting can customer management really be? But trust me on this, we've been digging into a whole stack of sources all about customer relationship management. And, well, it turns out it's actually a lot more interesting than it might sound at first.
Oh, absolutely. And way more important than a lot of people realize, I think.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we all know businesses want to keep their customers happy, right? Seems pretty obvious. But it turns out there's like a whole science to it, a whole strategic approach. And that's where CRM comes in.
Yeah, it's really gone way beyond just, sending out a birthday coupon or remembering someone's name.
Exactly. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is CRM? I mean, we've got all these sources here, and even they define it in a bunch of different ways.
Right, and that's because it's kind of a multifaceted thing. It means different things depending on who you're talking to. Like, management might see it one way, while the IT folks have a whole other perspective.
It's true. We even found a source that referred to the world's first professor of CRM, which, how cool is that? Apparently, there's a whole academic field dedicated to this stuff.
Yeah, that's Professor Adrian Payne, and he defines CRM as the core business strategy that integrates internal processes and functions and external networks to create and deliver value to targeted customers at a profit.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
It is, but I mean, when you break it down, it makes sense, right? It's basically saying that CRM is about bringing together everything a company does from its internal operations to its marketing and customer service, all to make customers happy and, well, yeah, make money too.
So it's not just about being nice.
Well, being nice is part of it, but it's really about creating value for the customer and doing it in a way that's profitable for the business. That's the sweet spot.
Makes sense. So how did CRM evolve to become such a, I don't know, a big deal?
Well, in the early days, it was a lot simpler. It was mainly about managing contacts, keeping track of names, addresses, phone numbers, that sort of thing, mostly using like spreadsheets and basic databases.
Yeah, I can picture that, like a super organized Rolodex.
Exactly. But then technology started to advance, and we saw the rise of, sophisticated CRM software, and that changed everything.
Ah, so that's where the technology piece comes in.
Right. I mean, think about the amount of data companies have on their customers these days. Everything from their purchase history to their website browsing behavior to their social media activity.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is, and without the right tools to manage and analyze all that data, it's just noise. But with CRM software, businesses can start to see patterns, make predictions, and personalize their interactions with each customer.
Okay, so let me jump in here for a sec, because it sounds like we're saying software is the answer. Like if you just buy the fanciest CRM software, you're good to go, but I'm guessing it's not quite that simple.
You're exactly right. It's not that simple. The software is just a tool. It's a really powerful tool, but it's only as good as the strategy behind it. You've got to know what you're doing with all that data.
So it's kind of like you can have the most high-tech oven in the world, but if you don't know how to bake, you're not going to be making any delicious cakes, right?
That's a great analogy. Yeah, the real magic of CRM happens when businesses use data to create a solid strategy. They figure out how to understand their customers so well that they can predict their needs and create those, really amazing experiences.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture now. So less about the what of CRM, more about the how.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's dig into some examples then. Do you have any, like, favorite examples of companies that are really knocking it out of the park with their CRM?
Oh, tons. But one that always comes to mind is Amazon. I mean, they were early adopters of CRM, and they've just completely mastered it.
Yeah, Amazon is like the king of recommendations. You buy one thing, and suddenly they know exactly what else you might want. It's almost spooky sometimes.
Right, but that's the power of data-driven CRM. Early on, Amazon realized that by analyzing customer purchase history, they could recommend other products that people might be interested in. And this seemingly simple strategy played a huge role in their incredible growth.
And it makes you want to keep coming back for more, which I guess is the whole point, right? Because we were talking earlier about profit. And one thing that came up in our research is this idea that increased customer loyalty leads to more profits.
Absolutely. I mean, it costs way more to acquire a new customer than it does to retain an existing one. So yeah, building loyalty is key.
But, I got to say, that whole increased customer loyalty equals more profits thing. It sounds a bit cynical, don't you think? Like the only goal is to squeeze more money out of customers?
I get where you're coming from. The profit motive is definitely there, no doubt. But I think when CRM is done right, it can actually benefit both sides.
So it's not just a one-way street.
Right. It's about creating a win-win situation. Businesses get loyal customers who spend more money, and customers get amazing, personalized experiences that make their lives easier or more enjoyable.
Okay, so can you give me an example of that win-win situation?
Sure. Think about Spotify. They use CRM to analyze your listening habits, right? What kind of music you like, what playlists you create, what you skip. And then they use that data to curate personalized recommendations just for you. Discover Weekly, Release Radar, all that.
Okay, yeah, I love those playlists. They always seem to nail my taste.
Exactly. And that's CRM in action. It's convenient for you as a listener. It exposes you to new music you might enjoy, and it keeps you engaged with their platform. Everybody wins.
Okay, that's a good example. It's like they're doing me a favor by getting to know me better.
And I mean, CRM goes beyond just sales and marketing too. It's also a big part of good customer service. Like, think of a company with a strong CRM strategy. They'll have a detailed history of all your interactions, so when you call with a problem, they can solve it quickly and efficiently without making you repeat yourself a million times.
Oh, that's the worst. Having to explain your whole situation over and over again.
The worst. But with good CRM, that doesn't happen. And that kind of seamless experience, it creates trust and it builds loyalty.
Right. It makes you feel like they actually care about you as a customer.
Exactly.
So, wow, we've covered a lot of ground here. We went from CRM, what is that, to understanding all these different facets. It's about management, technology, strategy. It's even kind of like psychology in a way, right?
Definitely. Understanding human behavior is a big part of it.
Absolutely. Well, before we wrap up, is there anything else you think our listeners should keep in mind about CRM?
I guess I'd just leave them with a thought-provoking question. Think about the brands that you're personally loyal to, the ones you keep going back to again and again. Why? What is it about those brands that sets them apart? Chances are they've mastered the art of CRM, whether you consciously realize it or not.
That is a great question. Really makes you think. And that's a good place to leave it for today. This deep dive was really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to CRM. There's a whole world of strategy and technology behind it.
It really is.
But hopefully now that you know a little more about the basics, you can start to see it in action everywhere you look.
Oh, for sure. It's all around us.
It really is. All right, thanks for taking this deep dive with us today. We'll catch you next time.
See you then. How TEAR.